Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining this meeting. My name is Mesha Patel, and I'm here with my team members Astha, Meet, Harsh, and Rohit from Georgian at ILAC. We are currently working on an HR assignment that aim to gain insights into effective HR practices from industry leaders. We are delighted to have this opportunity to speak with Kent, who is the HR manager of McDonald's located at 2 Ingram Drive. Your expertise and insights will be incredibly valuable to us in understanding the practical applications of HR theories and best practices. We have prepared a few questions that we believe will help us better understand key aspects of HR management. We are eager to discuss this with you and appreciate your time and willingness to support our academic journey. Once again, thank you for taking the time to meet us with today.
So I'm just gonna ask a couple of questions to you. What unique and distinctive offering are provided to customer as a part of your differentiation strategy?
So basically, we only have like certain types of customers, which is like come and buy food, and then there's not much differentiation strategy, but like we want to compete with the other store, so usually give a lot of promotion, something like if they're a regular customer, they come and buy things, and then sometimes we'll give them like a small discount, like for example, telling them, oh, we have the McDonald's apps, and then giving them discounts by telling them they'll earn points. But some other customers, we just like we will just ask them, are they earning point for today, and then that's it, because like our customer is very straightforward, just like come buy food and then go. So there's not much differentiation strategy. But in my old company, I worked in Hong Kong before, so I was a HR there, and then in that company, we usually have to deal with different types of customers. I think that's will be a more proper way to explain this question, is that because we're handling the educational company, so we have a lot of customers, and then most of them, of course, school. And then usually we have some schools that have high funding from the government, and some of them have lower funding. These schools have to spend all these fundings, otherwise they cannot keep the funding for the next year. So what we have to do is to target these schools. Of course, we have old customer, we will give them discounts. But if there's some customers with high potential, we currently don't have them right now, we will just like give them an offer to compete with the other company, because like we have like almost like 20 companies competing with us. It's more like we set the price and give it to the school, and the school doesn't know. I mean, like we don't even know how much the school have to pay for the other company to compete with us. So we want to set the price lower to make it like more prone to them, more accessible to them, and then we also have to provide high quality of education, something like we have to give them some examples, like we're selling Matata Labs. Those are toys for the kids. This is for let them know how to do the coding, and then this is what we have to do to attract these customers.
Okay, and again, the second question is, can you share an example of how open and honest communication has positively impacted a team project?
So if you're talking about team project, that's mean like we have to do with our own people. And then to be honest with you, if you are working in a higher position, and then you usually don't want to have a very honest communication, but that's true. Because like most of the time, open, of course, is necessary. You want everyone knows like what is going on. You have to give the people a target so they will follow you. You working as a leader, and then you just want them to follow your idea and then work with you. You want them to be your friends. That's why you always have to have an open communication. But there's some people always, even though we should stop them at the first time, but sometimes you hire people that's like at the beginning during the interview, they perform very good, but actually when they come to the workplace, they just like not working at all. So in that situation, you cannot fire them, because we need them, because we need people to help us. So instead of like having a really honest communication, like, oh, you are doing that thing is really bad, instead of that, you rather want to have a communication that is more decisive, just by telling them, oh, you are doing good on that part, but you have to also improve another part. And some people, when you have to deal with them, you always have to draw a big picture, like, oh, you are getting promoted if you are doing this, but actually they are not. But to be honest with you, sometimes if you're dealing with those bad people, you have to do this. But if you are dealing with the good people, I beg you don't do it, because like if you are having good people and you just want them to stay there, so that's the moment you have to do the honest communication. So if you are doing so, the team will follow you, and then they'll just work. Your idea will aligns with their idea as well. And also you have to take some idea from them, because like more people, of course, you have a more chance to pop up some good idea. So that's the reason why you always want to have open communication and honest communication with good team members.
Okay, so next question I would like to ask, how does you and your organization recognize and resolve conflicts within teams to maintain a positive work environment?
The first thing is to not to make it worse. That's the priority. Not to make it worse, that means you have to separate them. If there is two team members start arguing with each other, you don't want to see this happen. And then what you have to do first place is always separate them. So it happens a lot, especially when it's like a big company. My old company was small. That's why we literally don't have so much conflict, and we have separated into 3 different departments. That's why conflict was really rare. And but for this McDonald's I'm working right now, is basically there's a lot of people, and then some people, because of their cultural difference, that's why they usually argue with each other. And then as a higher working as a higher position, what you have to do is to recognize, oh, what's happening there. First, separate them, and then knows what's happening there, and then don't even try to resolve the solution by yourself. You always have to ask some people for help, because you always have more difficult question to deal with. Like when you are solving the question, solving the conflict, how can you deal with the rest of the customer? You don't want them to affect yourselves. So what you have to do is to separate them, let someone else to involve, like asking their friends to help them out. And then if it's possible, try to schedule them together. So one working in the morning, one working in the afternoon, that will be the best situation. But if it's not possible, both are limited by their availability. If they have to work together, try to put one of them into another area. So for example, one working for drive-thru, one working at the window, that will be the best situation you can have. And then by doing so, because like if you are not solving this, they just keep arguing, the story will turn into the whole mess. It will stop everything. So what you have to do is to separate them. That's how you make a good environment, and then just keep the store running.
Yeah.
I would like to ask the next question, that how job knowledge tests help in assessing the suitability of candidates for a specific position?
You mean like you mean during the interview, right? Or
Yeah, during the hiring process.
so for McDonald's, there's not much knowledge test we can have, like, because all the people we are hiring, our target candidates are high school people. So there's not much you can expect they don't have much knowledge about McDonald's. And because like once you're working at McDonald's, there's not much things you can carry out. Basically, this is like the closed circle. Once you're in, you cannot carry any skills out. Just for example, making the sandwich. You cannot make the same sandwich in other stores, right? What you can bring is your money and experience, like on your resume. But if you're working in other company, like my educational company, when I was in Hong Kong, like we did some knowledge test, but the effectiveness is actually quite limited. What you have to expect is like let them give you the resume to you, and then you just have to check every single aspects of what they have written down. Like for example, if they knows how to do if they know how to do coding, and then if you're HR, you know how to do coding, you probably have to ask them some basic question. That's what we call as like simple knowledge test. But the problem is that you cannot always expect one person knows everything, right? So if your knowledge does not align with that guy, just for example, you know Python, and that guy actually doesn't know Python at all, but that candidate knows CC sharp, something like, and then yeah, it's kind of trouble. So instead of like really having a good knowledge test and then just let them in, why don't just like ask them, are you really interested in this position? Because like I rather want someone who is always willing to learn to join a company, instead of like really want someone who already knows how to do it but he don't want to learn to join this company, right? So actually, the effectiveness of knowledge test is pretty limited. Instead, you want to test them if what they're saying is true. So and at least they're not lying. This is good enough for us already. And more importantly, of course, knowledge test always reflects some skills. So if they pass, of course, that's a good sign. And then I can say more than 80% they will be in, unless there will be another better candidate to compete with them.
Okay, so like hiring process in the McDonald's is generally based on experience and situational based questions, right?
Generally based on their resume. I'll ask them, like some people give us the resume, or they have worked at McDonald's before, and then some people always around 6 people out of 10, they come give me the resume, or they have worked at McDonald's, they like McDonald's, and then I ask them, what kind of coffee you have? They can't answer it. Yeah, that happens quite often. So you can tell these guys is actually doesn't like McDonald's that much. They just want a job. They just like they just want a job and then get money and then get some experience. In that situation, would you hire them? No. So that's kind of simple logic test. What I'm saying is.
Okay. So now I'm gonna ask you a question regarding training. Like, can you describe like how different type of trainings you give? Because as I know, like you have different sections in McDonald's, like front, kitchen, and drive-through. So like, is this training section or is this training are different to section?
Before that, we used to train people in a specific department first. Just for example, because drive-through handle more than 50% of the sales, that's why we usually don't put people on drive-through first. Instead, we will rather like put them at the window, because the window usually will have less sales. And then what we have to do first is to, like, when they first come here, we will give them a lot of reading things, like how to make coffee, how to take orders, all these things. And then we will carry them around and show them, which departments have something else, but we won't focus on that particular departments. For example, like we will show them, this is the kitchen, and then what sandwich we are making. That's it. And then move to the window, please. Don't stay in the kitchen. And then it's probably like within like 10 minutes, and then we move to the next department. So we just like have to let them know what we have generally in McDonald's, and then we will just like move to the next section and then just focus on a particular area. So for example, if someone's like being trained at window, we will just let them know how to control this button, how to take orders, and then how to greet with the customers. And then the next step, just like before renovation, our store did a renovation before, and then before that, the people working at Windows have to take order, and then also making coffee. So we will train them how to make coffee as well. And then we will move to the next section, and then we will teach them how to pack the food. The total, I mean, is almost take 2 days. Yeah, almost takes 2 days. And then we also have to give them some papers works, let them know how to make a perfect coffee, these things. And then just like another knowledge test, And then after such training, and then they will start working on fries. The first step is always working on fries, how to make the fries, and then we will like gradually move them to the window taking orders. So basically, after they have finished all the things, like they handle window, they handle how to make the drinks, and then if we think they are ready, we will move them to do the drive-through. And then eventually, after they handle all the fronts, which means the drive-through and the window and making coffee and packing the food, and then we will just like move them to the kitchen. And then when they're working in the kitchen, That's already part of training. Because like we don't want to spare another person to teach them how to work in the kitchen. Because they have been working at McDonald's for so long, they definitely know how some sandwiches are being made, right? If you're standing in front, you always observe the kitchen. You can always see the kitchen, how to make the sandwich, like squeezing the sauce, putting the lettuce. These are simple things. So we just like gradually move them to the kitchen, and then the whole training process is already complete. But right now we are starting to cross training. So instead of like letting them work in the same area for a long period of time and then move them to the kitchen, we found out actually it's not flexible enough. Some people always called in sick, and then we are always missing that kind of people. It's kind of headache to us. So instead of doing that, we rather like cross training, let them work in the kitchen, let them work in the front. We extend the training process, and then like from 2 days to 3 days, something like that. And then we will just like let them go everywhere. Start doing something what they are strong with, and then gradually let them do what they are weak in. And then
Okay.
so like yeah, all around.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Around.
Thank you so much. Here we come to the end of our questions, and we all really appreciate your willingness to support our learning and your openness in answering our questions. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable time and insights with us today.
Around.
It will be a great help to learn us about the HR practices. Thank you so much.
Around.
It was
Thank you
nice
so much,
to
Ken.
have a discussion with you.
Thank you very much.
Around.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Yeah, your insights will be very helpful to understand how the HR is working in general.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Have a
Have a
day.
Thank you
good
so
day.
much. Yeah.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.
Bye.